Starship Troopers is a movie that can be many things. For a lot of people, it's biting satire, and for me, it's a campy action film that can also be appreciated as such. Something people tend to forget when all they want to think about is said satire. Now, I have read the novel this film is based incredibly loosely on, and I enjoy both it and the film a whole bunch, but for very different reasons. And I won't be comparing the movie to the source material at all in this review. The film follows Johnny Rico, a hopeless romantic who joins up with the mobile infantry in the hopes to impress the girl he is infatuated with. Naturally, things go wrong, his home is destroyed, and Rico finds himself in the middle of an all-out war between humanity and seemingly mindless bugs. At least, that's what it appears to be at first. Now, the story plays itself like a by-the-numbers sci-fi war film that takes major notes from 50s war serials and combines it all together with action scenes, sappy character moments, and lots of gore. Outside of the obviously and intentionally tongue-in-cheek dialogue.
Sir, I don't understand. Who needs a knife in a nuke fight anyway? All you gotta do is push a button. Sir?
Fresh meat for the grinder, eh?
Are you all right?
Much better. Now.
The film plays itself seriously enough that each death has impact, despite the characters all technically being expandable in the context of the film's universe. Naturally, there is a bigger story, but it's not at the forefront of the film, and I personally like this. Also, the dialogue is incredibly quotable, filled with too many memorable lines to count.
Let me tell you something. I'm from Buenos Aires, and I say kill them all!
Yeah! Oh yeah! Yeah! Oh yeah!
Who's that with you?
Florence, sir.
Make it 20 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Come on, you hey! You want to live forever?
The cast did a great job, and all the actors were surprisingly big name for this being just a silly bug movie. I liked all the characters enough that I was saddened when they were killed off, and even though they were intentionally one-dimensional, they still had some depth with how their stories, however brief they were, played out. By far the best characters out of an already strong lineup of memorable characters had to be drill instructor Zim and Rico's friend by the name of Ace. If you don't like bugs or gore, you're not gonna like Starship Troopers. I'm still amazed at how brutal some of the action scenes are, but that doesn't stop this from still being a fun popcorn film. The special effects are still, for the most part, just fantastic to look at. All the practical effects really do enhance the film, and the makeup and explosions and such just present such an entertaining and attention-grabbing spectacle. The main theme composed for the film is an instant classic. And the rest of the movie's soundtrack does the job well too. Gunshots, screams, and the bugs' crunches and screeches all sounded top quality.
Kill them! Kill them all!
Come on!
And the sound mixing and work just really added a whole lot to the film as a package. And with all that said, I adore this movie a ton. Despite the 2-hour runtime, everything fits nicely into place and makes the watch feel brisk, and the action and character scenes are quite entertaining. It's still quite the action spectacle even 20 years later, and if you can stomach some of the brutal violence, I definitely recommend you give it a watch. As always, if you want to help support the channel, please consider sharing the video with a friend or checking out my Patreon linked in the description below. If you have any comments, questions, or recommendations, leave them down below as I read and reply to everything. Until next time, this is Thierry Williamson signing off until the next video. See ya, guys!